So taking child's pose back off the mat, letting your body feel heavy, closing your eyes if you haven't yet. Breathing in and out through your nose. Simply becoming aware of where you're at right here, right now. Noticing the parts of your body that are touching the mat. Notice where you're lifting off of your mat. Notice the compression in your hips. And then from here, gently start to activate through your fingers. Maybe you want to walk them a little bit further away from yourself. Wrapping your elbows under, drawing your hips back to your heels, encouraging a little bit of opening through your shoulders. Taking this time to set an intention if you like. And then breathe into rounding curl all the way forward through tabletop. Inhale, belly drops, chest rocks through, elbows press back. Eyes look up. Exhale, press away from the floor, chin to chest, round and curl your spine, parachute your belly. Inhale, we lift, belly drops, elbows bend, chest rocks through. And exhale again, we press away, resisting the floor. Last one, inhale, belly drops. Eyes lift. Exhale, round and curl. Squeezing left hip up, left shoulder down this time. Creating space on your right side by contracting your left. And we switch, right hip up, right shoulder down. Again, pressing away from the floor, keep rounding. Pressing your ribs over to your left. Slowly coming all the way back center from here. Taking a breath in. And then keeping your hips above your knees. Keep your hips high. We come all the way forward. Elbows slick past your ribs. Chin, chest, and throat come down to the mat. Letting your heart fall heavy. We hold for 5. And breathe. If you feel like you're already quite open, since it is the end of the day, you can tuck your toes and lift your knees. More intense, you choose. 3, 2, and 1. Tuck your toes under if they weren't tucked already. Press yourself forward and up from here. Cobra. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, bend your elbows. We come all the way down. Take your hands a little bit wider if you need to. Again, inhale, we lift here. Eyes lift very last. Exhale, head falls back. Pull your heart forward. We come all the way down. 2 more. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, we come down. Last one. Inhale to lift. Keeping your feet on the floor. Exhale, come down. Pull your heart forward. Bring your left arm out to 90 degrees. Let right knee bends. Right hand remains next to your chest. We roll open onto your left side. Slowly coming all the way back center, and we switch. Left arm in, right arm out. Bend your left knee, we roll open. Slowly come all the way back center. Take your forehead to the floor. Tops of your feet pressed down. Hook your pubic bone into the floor so that your belly button almost lifts off. Hands meet you back behind your head. Neck stays long, elbows pressed high. Imagine you have to hold an orange underneath your chin as you press up. Head and shoulders lift for 10. And down, just the nose taps the mat. 9. And down. 8. And down. 7. And down. 6. And down. 5. And down. 4. And down. 3. And down. Last 2. And down. Last one, we hold for 10. 9. 8. Squeeze your elbows higher. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Hands next to your chest. Press back, tabletop, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Bending one knee, straightening the other. Walking it out, getting into your hamstrings. Taking off your socks if they make you slide, if you have them on still. Matching your movement with your breath. And then from here, take a big breath in. Bring both heels high to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, press your chest back, turbo dog. Breathe in to look in between your hands. We step forward towards the top of the mat. Big toes touch, heels have some space. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Take some time here, grab opposite elbows. Maybe hands behind your head like when you do a sit-up. Or maybe hands interlace behind your spine and you let the fist fall. Making sure that your knees are slightly bent. Weight in your heels. Dropping your hands back down to the floor if they're up. Bend your knees around your spine, slowly roll all the way up to stand. Once you get there, shoulders move up, back, and down for Tadasana. Inhale, we reach up and look up, maybe a back bend if that feels nice. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down to the floor, we step back, high plank. Breathe in to settle here. Set your foundation up strong. Hips same height as shoulders. Ankles over toes. Shoulders over wrists. Wrap your elbows back. Press up and out of the fingertips. We come forward and down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, look in between your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump your way forward, top of the mat. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, slowly roll all the way up. Once you're up, shoulders move up, back and down, Tadasana. Breathing in to again reach up and look up. Maybe that back bend if that feels good. Exhale, we fold forward. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step back, hold your breath here. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, bring your right leg towards the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Start making some hip circles. Drawing a circle into the sky with your knee, making the circle as large as you possibly can. Keeping the rest of your body still, and imagine you're moving through honey or through water, creating some resistance. Keeping heel close to bum, just the hip moves. Breathing in to bring your right toes all the way up. Three-legged dog. Right knee, right elbow, squeeze it in. All the way up and back, three-legged dog. Right foot steps through in between your hands. Left knee comes down, shift your weight back, and flex, half splits. Pulling your heart to your toes, and your toes to your heart, straight spine. Waist superior over straight leg. So making sure that your spine is not rounded. Taking a moment here. And just to let you know, I don't normally cough this much. Just have a sore throat today. Turning your right toes out to face your right. Switch your hips towards your left. Feel like it is a bit of a weird contrast, this yoga teacher that sounds like a smoker. But I don't promise. Come all the way back. Bend into your right knee. Both hands meet you on the inside of the right leg. We walk our way all the way to face the back of the mat. Left knee bends, right toes turn high, Skandasana. Now here it's okay if your left heel doesn't touch the floor, but we work towards getting it there. So if you can, do so. If you can't, no problem. Baby bend in that right knee, make sure it's not locked. Left elbow on the inside of the left knee. Inhale, bring your heart up. Maybe hands to heart center, maybe they're on the floor. Up to you. Pressing up and out of your left heel. Again, your hands can help you. On the floor, we walk it all the way forward. Left hand to floor, right hand to sky. Take a twist. Either stay here or move it into your feet edges. So feet edges means wrapping your left hip under, letting your right hip or your right knee fall away from the midline. And you can use your right hand to press your right knee away gently. Keep turning that left hip underneath you. Gets you into the outer right hip. From here, slowly come all the way back. Both hands frame your foot, left knee comes down. Inhale, we come up. Modified crescent lunge. Moving your torso away from your thighs as you send your hips forward. Pubic bone to belly button, upper ribs in. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, hands come heart center, left elbow, right knee. We take a twist. I personally prefer having my left toes tucked under. Helps me balance, but everyone is a little bit different. So for you, it might be the other way around. Trying to squeeze your hands back center. Make sure that they're not resting in your armpit. Slowly come all the way back. Inhale, hands up. Tuck your left toes under. If they weren't tucked already, lift your left knee off of the mats. Press your left heel forward. Right hip back, left hip squeezes forward. Right knee is bent, definitely. Don't be here like this. Sending your hips forward again, pubic bone to belly button. Torso away from front thigh. Inhale, we reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Frame your foot and step back, high plank. High plank to low plank. You can always bring your knees down to the floor if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, lift your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Start making those hip circles. First circling one way, moving through honey, through water, creating that resistance. And then circling the other way, isolating the movement to your hip. Breathing in to bring the left toes all the way up to the sky. We come forward, left knee, left elbow, squeeze it in. All the way up and back, three-legged dog. Left foot steps through in between the hands as softly as you can. Right knee comes down. Shift your weight back and flex. Inhale, heart to toes. Again, squeezing right hip forward, left hip back. Pressing your left heel down and into the floor. Pulling it towards you, creating traction on your mat. Turning your left toes out to face the left, hips towards the right, getting into the IT band. Slowly coming all the way back center, bending into the left knee. Bringing both of your hands to the inside, walk your way back towards the back edge of the mat. Bend into your right knee, left toes turn high, keep a baby bend in that left knee. Maybe hands to heart center, maybe hands stay on the floor. Wherever you are, you reach your heart up. Right elbow to the inside of the right knee. From here, your hands help you walk all the way back forward. Right hand to floor, left hand to sky. Take a twist. First, we stay here. Keep squeezing the right hip up. Left shoulder blade back behind the spine, deepening your twist. And then open your left hip. Sending your left knee away from the midline, wrapping your right hip underneath you. Maybe left hand to left knee. Slowly come all the way back. Both hands frame your foot. Right knee comes down. Inhale, we lift up. Modified crescent. From here, inhale, we reach. Exhale, hands come heart center. Right elbow, left knee. Take your twist, squeezing those hands back center. Sending your hips forward, but your torso lifts up. Slowly release, we come all the way back center, hands up. Tuck your right toes under. Float your right knee off of the mat, set yourself up strong. Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back, bend into that left knee. Inhale, we reach up. Exhale, lean back further. And don't lean back in the manner of a back bend. You pull your pubic bone in, and then you draw your ribs back. Exhale, hands come down to the floor, and we step back. High plank to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in, look in between your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump your way forward, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Shifting your weight into your heels, baby bend in the knees. Keeping your hands on the floor, walking them all the way towards your right. Bend your right knee, or if you need to bend both knees to get here, bend both knees. Shifting your weight into the left foot, press away from the fingertips, squeezing right hip up, right shoulder down. You can take your feet hip width here as well, makes it a little bit more accessible. Coming all the way back over and through to the other side. Walking your hands through center to your left, bending your left knee, squeezing left hip up, left shoulder down. Again, press away from the fingers. Slowly come all the way back center. Bend your knees, head and hands stay heavy, slowly roll all the way up to stand. Once you're up, shoulders move up, back, and down, Tadasana. Taking a moment to close your eyes, spread your toes onto your mat. Feel the texture of the surface beneath you. Again, make sure that there's a baby bend in those knees. Not enough that I can see, but enough that you can feel that they're not locked. Notice whether your pelvis is tipping forward, tipping backward, or is it neutral? Notice whether or not your shoulders are rounding forward, or are they still back? Pressing up and out of your feet and up and out of your crown. Inhale, we reach up and look up from here. Stand tall. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, we step back, high plank. Again, as always, bring your knees to the floor if you need to. Quality over quantity, conserve your energy. High plank to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, bring your right leg all the way up to the sky. Right foot steps through, in between your hands, we rise up. Crescent lunge. Big breath in to reach your fingertips higher up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend your knees, step it all the way forward towards the front of your mat. Big toes touch, heels have some space, hands come heart center. Samastiti. Take a big breath in, we reach up and look up. Maybe take that back bend if that feels good. Exhale, we fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step back, high plank. High plank to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, left leg to the sky. Left knee steps in between your hands. We rise, crescent lunge. Press high off of your back toes. Set yourself up strong. Inhale, we reach up. Exhale, bend your back knee. Step it all the way forward, hands come heart center. Inhale, we reach up and look up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step back, high plank. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking your hands all the way towards the back of your mat to meet your feet. Heel toe, your feet hip width, so at least 2 knuckle widths in between your hands. Inhale, we halfway lift. Press away from the floor or from your shins. Reaching your heart forward, making sure you're not leaning against your legs here. Really reach the heart forward, straight spine. From there, exhale, we fold. Bend your knees. Head and hands stay heavy, slowly roll. All the way up. Inhale, we reach up and look up. Heel toe, your feet mat width. From here, we come all the way down into our deep squat. Hands come towards the insides of the knees. Keeping your right elbow pressing into the inside of that right knee. Left elbow comes over that left knee so that you can lean back towards your right and pull your left knee towards the left. So towards the left, not forward. Left knee gently taps as softly as you can onto the floor. Left elbow presses into left knee. Release your right knee from here, so right elbow comes above. And then send your right knee over to the right. Torso leans towards your left to counteract the weight. And then we come all the way up. 2 more on each side. Left knee down and up. Working on the mobility of your hips and your ankles. Right knee down and up. Last one, as softly as you can. And up. Last one on the right side. And up. Hands come down to the floor, raise your hips. Again, inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward actively. Exhale, we fold. This time take your peace sign fingers, so your index finger and your middle finger. Wrap them around your big toes like flip-flops. Again, inhale, we halfway lift. If you need to bend your knees to do so, then do so. Exhale, pull your elbows apart, pull yourself in. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Slowly release your hands. Hands back to the floor. We walk it all the way back forward. Shift yourself back forward. High plank. Low plank. Inhale up. Exhale down. Big breath in. Big breath out to walk your hands all the way back towards the back of your mat. Meet your feet. Again, hip width in between those feet. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, head and hands stay heavy. We slowly roll all the way up. Once you're up, shoulders move up, back, and down. Tadasana. Inhale, we reach up and look up. Heel toe, your feet mat width. Exhale, we sit all the way down low into that deep squat, sending your knees wide as you come down, and you can come down slower if you need to. From here, you can either do the same hip mobility exercise we did before, or you start to waddle your way up your mat, keeping your knees wide, and then coming all the way back. Coming forward one more time. And all the way back. We meet back at the back of our mat. Elbows to the insides of the knees. Inhale, heart lifts high. Hands come down towards the floor. We fold all the way forward. Lift your hips. Bring your feet back to hip width. This time, bend your knees if you need to. Bring your full hand underneath your foot. Walking your toes up to the wrist crease. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Wiggling your toes into your wrist crease, giving your wrists a massage. Maybe lifting your heels just a millimeter off of the floor. Your toes will freak out, but that's okay. Slowly come all the way back. Release your hands. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, walk yourself out, downward facing dog. Breathe in, we shift ourselves back forward. High plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, right leg meets the sky. Right foot steps through in between the hands. Bend your left knee down towards the floor. Shift your weight back, and again, we flex half splits. Now, if you have blocks and you find it difficult to keep your spine straight here, you can grab them, keep them next to you, so that you can really reach that heart forward and you just have a little bit more space. They also might be useful in what we're doing next. So if you have them, grab them. If you don't, no worries, you don't need them. Bending back forward into the right knee. Making sure that you have plenty of space in between your feet. So your feet should be standing on train tracks rather than on a wire. From here, shifting back forward into that right knee, into that right hip, bending your left knee, and then reaching around with the left hand, pulling the left knee in, or actually, if you have blocks, it's going to be easier with the right hand. Pulling the left foot in, squeezing heel to bum. Taking a moment to soften. And then we slowly release, come all the way back. Tuck your left toes, take the blocks aside. From here, we breathe in, we come back up into that modified crescent. Tuck your left toes under, squeeze your left knee off of the mats. Crescent lunge, inhale, we reach. Exhale, we find warrior two, bring your left heel down. Inhale, flip your palms and reach forward. Exhale, reverse. Making sure your ribs are not flying out here, reaching your right fingertips back, your right knee forward and to your right. Right hand pulls you all the way back up. Left hand comes down to the floor. Right hand comes down to the sky. We twist. Once again, you can either stay here for a spinal twist, or you can switch to your feet edges for opening up your outer right hip. Slowly come all the way back, both hands down to the floor, step back, high plank. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, left leg meets the sky. Left foot steps through in between your hands. Right knee comes down, shift your weight back and flex. Half splits, maybe you grab your blocks. Maybe it's not necessary. Inhale, heart forward. And here as well, same principles as in crescent lunge. Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back. Shifting all the way back forward into the left knee. Sending your hips forward, bend your right knee in. Left hand reaches back and around to grab the right foot, and then squeeze heel to bum, sending your hips further forward. Keep your left knee hugging into the midline, so don't let the left foot fall away. And then slowly release, come all the way back. Tuck your right toes under, inhale, we lift. Modified crescent. Exhale, raise your right knee off of the mat. We open up, warrior two, right heel down. Left knee is bent, inhale, we reach. Exhale, reverse. Sending your left knee forward, lift fingertips back. Left hand pulls you all the way up and over. Both hands find the floor. Step back, high plank. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, look in between your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump your way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, head and hands stay heavy, slowly roll. All the way up. Once you're up, shoulders move up, back and down, Tadasana. Inhale, we reach up and look up. Exhale, sit down into your chair, Utkatasana, chair pose. Send your hips back and your heart high. For 5. Nice. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press up and out of your heels to stand. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step back, high plank. High plank to low plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, right leg meets the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip, and flip. Right big toes to the floor behind you. Right heel stays lifted. We find a wild thing. Squeeze your left leg straight, your heart and your hips go high. Right shoulder blade falls heavy. Slowly come all the way back. Right hand to floor, right knee, right wrist. Find half pigeon. Either staying up high here or coming all the way down low. Squeezing right hip back, left hip forward. And again, if you want to, you can come up and bring your left knee in. This time reach around with your left hand and squeeze heel to bum here as well. Adding in a quad stretch, hip flexor stretch for your left leg. Up to you. And then slowly release. Both hands come down to the floor. We step it back, downward facing dog. If you want to go through a vinyasa here, go for it. High plank to low. Otherwise, you bring your left leg up to the sky. Three-legged dog, you bend your knee, open up your hip, and you flip. Wild thing, letting your left shoulder blade fall heavy, press up and out of your right fingertips, up and out of your right heel. Left heel is lifted. We come all the way back. Left knee, left wrist. Half pigeon. Right hip squeezes forward, left hip squeezes back. We come all the way down. Now, if you want to, you can always walk yourself up. Pull your right heel in and add that stretch. Slowly releasing. Bringing both of your hands back to the floor. Tucking your right toes under, stepping all the way back. Now again, if you want to move forward, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in to look in between your hands. Breathe out, bend your knees, just one. We jump outside and we stay in our Malasana deep squats. From here, hands come heart center. You're going to, so like that duck walk that we did before, that duck walk that we did before. Instead of walking forward and back, you're going to turn out to the sides so that you're facing the long side of your mat, and then maybe out to the side so that you're back in center. From here, hands come down to the floor. Bring your knees down forward, and then bring your ankles in line with your knees so that you're in this frog-like position for literally frog pose. From there, you can either stay up like this, or you can come all the way down onto your forearms, squeezing your hips forward and back. And the reason we're facing long side of the mat is just so that your knees are protected and are on your mat and it's soft. If you still need extra cushioning underneath the knees, you can always put a blanket down. Or maybe fold your mat even. Shifting your weight backwards and forwards, rocking until you find your sweet spot and linger there. And then from here, there are two ways to get out of it. You can either swim out of it, pressing away from your knees, swimming forward, straightening your legs. Or you can bring your big toes together and rock all the way back, walk your way back up. From there, lift your knees to bring them back together and sit all the way down onto your bum, still facing the long side of your mat. Kick your right leg out to the side. From here, we're going to breathe in, face your right foot, and then exhale to fold all the way forward. Grabbing either your right foot, your right ankle, maybe underneath the knee. Anything that you can, making sure that there is no strain on your arms. Breathing in to slowly come all the way up to seated. Staying exactly as you are leg-wise, placing your right hand on the inside of the right knee, maybe even right elbow, up to you. Breathing in to lift your left arm up, and then left hand grabs either right foot or anywhere along the leg, or maybe just your right ear. Squeezing your right arm, your right upper arm especially, if your forearm is down, into that right leg so that you can open up your left collarbone to the sky. Stretching your left side torso. Slowly release. We come all the way up. Now we switch legs. Right leg in, left leg out. Facing your left foot. Inhale, we lift up. And exhale, we fold. Bringing your hands anywhere where your arms don't need to strain. And then breathing in to roll yourself all the way back up. Placing your left hand on the inside of the left leg. Inhale, right hand up. And then all the way over. Maybe left elbow comes down. Opening up your right collarbone to face the sky wherever you're at. Pressing away from the floor with your left arm, with your left hand. Slowly coming all the way up. Kicking both feet forward here. Making sure that you're sitting on your sit bones. Move your bum out of the way. Inhale, we lift all the way up. And exhale, we fold forward. Again, grabbing anything that doesn't strain your legs. You can bend your knees as well. And normally we flex the feet, but for this one, point the feet. Bring, if you can touch your feet, bring your palms towards the tops of your feet and press your feet away to stretch the tops of your feet. Different kind of stretch. Breathing in to slowly roll all the way up. Bending your knees, placing the soles of your feet firm onto the floor. Bring your hands forward, curl your upper ribs in to slowly roll all the way down onto your mat. Moving through your lower, middle, and upper back until you're all the way down. Either walking your knees a little bit closer if they're very far out, making them or bringing them to a distance where you can just barely touch them. I can't touch mine, but they're almost there. From there, you're going to either keep your hands where they're at, walking your shoulder blades closer together, squeeze your hips up to the sky, and come into a half bridge. Or maybe hands come next to your ears, and you press all the way up into your full wheel. Wherever you are, we hold for 10, 9, 8, pressing up and out of the heels. Squeeze your bum, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come all the way down, upper, middle, and lower back. Hug your knees into your chest. Maybe roll side to side. And then on the floor, massage your spine. And then kick your feet up into the air. Bring your hands up. Roll your ankles, roll your wrists. Scrunch and stretch your toes. And getting into teeny tiny joints. And your knees and your elbows can be bent. They don't have to be all tense and up to the sky. From here, bring your hands underneath your hips, palms facing up. Kicking your feet up to the sky into shoulder stance, Sarvangasana. Walking your hands closer to your shoulder blades. Taking gentle and easy breaths. And then lower your feet down all the way back behind your head for plank pose. From here, bend your knees down by your ears for deaf man's pose. And slowly roll all the way back onto your spine. Once we get there, happy baby. Bringing your knees to your armpits, feet to or knees to 90 degrees. Wrap your tailbone back towards the floor, shoulder blade back behind the spine. Either you stay here or you take it into your straddle splits. And then from here, slowly release your legs, bend your knees in. Give yourself a big, big hug. Bring your nose to your knees if that feels good. Give yourself a big squeeze, sensing every single muscle in your body. Squeeze, squeeze, tense, tense, tight, tight. And then exhale for Shavasana. Taking a big breath in through your nose. Fill up your belly, your chest, and your throat. And then exhale through your nose very softly with a constriction at the back of your throat. Trying to stretch your exhale as long as you can. Until all of the air is out of your lungs and your lungs are completely empty. From there, one more time, big breath in. And again, as slowly as you can, you squeeze the air up, create that constriction at the back of your throat, and gently, slowly breathe out. Sorry. Letting your breath return to its natural rhythm from here. Taking sips of air as you need them. Relaxing every single muscle in your body. Knowing that the work is done. Nothing else you need to do, nowhere else you need to be in this moment. And make sure to soften your jaw, soften your eyebrows. Allow your eyes to fall heavier and deeper into their sockets. Let your tongue melt off of the roof of your mouth. Take a moment to thank your body genuinely for all that it does for you. Thank yourself for showing up, for putting in the effort and taking the time to take care of you today. Noticing the quiet, noticing the calm. And feel free to stay here for however long you like, however long you need. Yet, when you feel ready, take a big breath in, a gentle breath out to bring yourself back to your body. And eventually, in your own way and in your own time, you can make your way all the way back up to seated.